Making the cut, but still not in the clear. Indiana officials recently released a top 10 list. That list ranks the counties with the highest number of meth labs reported in a year.
None of our Wabash Valley counties, thankfully, is on that list. But before you celebrate, News 10's Rondrell Moore explains labs may be more advanced. He joins us now live in the studio with more. Rondrell?
Well, Mike Patrice, this is a story that has been around, unfortunately, for quite some time. But two Terre Haute police officers say now is the time to get this crippling issue under control. Yesterday, I spoke with Chris Gallagher from the Terre Haute Police Department. He and Officer Ryan Adamson headed to Indianapolis earlier today. They testified about the dangers of methamphetamine before the Senate. Their goal is to push legislation that makes pseudoephedrine available by prescription only. Now, pseudoephedrine is a common ingredient in meth. This is a push that police have been trying for quite some time. The last effort was a few years ago, back in around 2011. It was denied back then, but Gallagher says it's important to keep the issue in the spotlight. Now, let's go back to a stat that Mike and Patrice gave just a while ago. They said that the numbers are down. In fact, in Vigo County, Indiana State Police reported 21 total labs last year. That's down dramatically from nearly 10 years earlier in 2004. That year, ISP reported 95 meth labs. That sounds great, but it may not mean good news all around.
We were the first part of the state that the labs showed up in, and our cookers now are much better educated on how to evade law enforcement. It's as much underground as it can be, and when it bubbles into the mainstream, when it comes to everybody's attention, it usually does so violently.
The officers tell me that they did present their case before the Senate earlier today, and they are optimistic. They say there was no vote on the issue today. Now, we must note people against this legislation say it unfairly punishes those who use the drug correctly, people suffering from sinuses and congestion problems, for example. Meanwhile, drug companies also fear it will hurt their sales. Patrice, back to you.
All right, thank you, Rondrell. The Terre Haute police officers say they may be called to testify again in the future.